What can we do to make this easier when someone passes away and they have assets? What can we do? So I'm just going to kind of just hand it over back to you. Tell me a little bit. How can we avoid probate? What are questions people should be asking? What are the services that they should be considering? How can they approach you for some of this?
It's funny. I get a lot of people who engage with me, and it's a lot of times it's the same inquiry. It's, I want to put together a very simple will and I want to avoid, and that's impossible because wills are probated. So if you create a very simple will, you're not avoiding probate. I think that there is a dearth, an absolute dearth of good information out there. And I tell my clients and even prospective clients the same thing, that I can jump on Google or ChatGPT or anywhere else. I can look up the same stuff you're looking up. The difference is I practice in this space all day, every day, and you do not. So you should be consulting with somebody who does, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else. I believe personally and professionally that at an absolute minimum, everybody should have a will at a minimum, because having a probate in a state without a will is objectively terrible. And it's not terrible necessarily because probate's terrible. It's just terrible because it's expensive and it takes a lot of time. And people are a lot of things, but they're not patient. And I get that. So at a minimum, put a will in place. If you want to be more sophisticated, look into trusts and other vehicles that are similar to that. But what you should do is you should find somebody that you trust or you think that you can trust. Be honest and ask as many questions as you can possibly ask, because this stuff is confusing. And there's the stuff you're reading about online doesn't always apply to you, doesn't always apply to the estate that you think you have. And sometimes that information is also just flat out incorrect or it's dated. So find somebody, in my opinion, and it's worth what it's worth. Um, the smartest people I know delegate the things they don't know. And I try to do the same in my personal life. I'm not walking around messing with my own electricity or redoing my own roof. It's not my space. Find somebody whose space it is. And if you can trust that person or that firm, work with them and just ask as many questions as you possibly can, because a big part of estate planning too is learning. This stuff doesn't work the way you think it works. And there's all sorts of options that you have that you might not think that you have. Just ask questions.
Yeah, yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about, I know this is a very big topic, but just briefly, what is a trust?
A trust is essentially an entity. It's not you, it's not somebody else, it's its own legal entity that essentially, theoretically, if done properly, will own all of your assets when you pass away, and it will distribute all of your assets to the beneficiaries that you list without needing to go through the probate process.
Got it. So if I want to avoid probate, I get a trust.
That is one great way to do it. Yes. And an unfortunate tag on to that answer is there are so many different kinds of trusts and so many different ways to do it, which goes back to my previous response of find somebody you trust and ask questions, because there's far more than one way to do the same thing. And what works for some people may not work for others.